Today, we'll exclusively reveal who's coming into the ring in WWE 2K18.
Plus, we'll take you inside one of the biggest RPGs ever.
Then, we'll get scared out of our minds with Cast of It.
And show you why Bizarro is better than Superman.
This is the IGN Show.
Hello and welcome to the IGN Show. I'm James Duggan, this is Naomi Kyle, and this is Alana Pierce. We've got a big show today with an exclusive look at Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, so let's get into it.
Coming up, we'll exclusively reveal more of the wrestling superstars that will be playable in WWE 2K18, plus we'll review Black the Fall, which looks a whole lot like one of our favorite games, one might say suspiciously so. Then we'll meet up with the Losers Club. That's not us. That's the cost of the new film adaptation of Stephen King's It, and learn why sometimes VR can sometimes be scarier than clowns. Sometimes. And later, part 2 of our exclusive behind-the-scenes look at Hunt Showdown.
Alana's ad-lib was not in the script, so it hurts my feelings, but first, it's time to check out Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. This game is huge, and it puts you in the middle of battles that are the definition of epic.
The medieval action has you leading the charge against hundreds of enemies or fighting off a siege against an overwhelming force. You can see it all for yourself in this preview.
In Bannerlord, you will adventure across a sprawling medieval sandbox called Calradia, accruing followers, toppling kingdoms, and advancing your character in a multitude of different ways. But before you can accomplish any of that, you must first gain a basic understanding of Mount & Blade's distinct combat system. You can block and attack in multiple directions. This simple but frantic system serves as a foundation for a host of different melee weapon types that vary in terms of reach, damage, and swing speed. This system is further augmented with the use of shields, ranged weaponry, and of course, horses. In order to accomplish more lofty goals like sacking a castle, you'll need an army. Mercenaries, converted enemies, or soldiers conscripted to you by one of several factions will all help you in this endeavor. When assaulting a keep, you'll need to choose siege equipment and ensure the success of multiple points of attack. Battering rams, siege towers, and field artillery will allow you to crack an otherwise impenetrable fortress. When defending, insidious weapons like fire bombs, stones, or a flurry of arrows can deter would-be attackers. Other new and noteworthy features include an evolving world map, weapon customization, an innovative barter system, political influence and standing systems, and so much more. And of course, the elephant in the room is multiplayer. Mount & Blade's lasting legacy, even to this day on Steam, is its sprawling and massive multiplayer.
So, now that you're sufficiently excited for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, here is an exclusive look at some never-before-seen gameplay.
Forward! Attack!
WWE 2K18 is set to launch in just a few months, and the big question that every wrestling fan wants answered is, what's the lineup? Well, you can find out right now. Let's send it over to WWE SmackDown and Raw host Renee Young for this week's IGN exclusive reveal.
WWE and IGN present the WWE 2K18 roster reveal.
I'm Renee Young. Joining me today, the savior of misbehavior, Corey Graves.
Can I just tell you how good it feels that there's still one person left on Earth that refers to me as such?
Want to bring on our first guest here to the very first episode of the roster reveal?
Let me try this segue.
Okay.
Because you were just talking about being like no one.
Yes.
Being unique. How about being bizarre?
I like it. Let's bring him out. You want to do this?
I would love to do this,
okay,
please.
Here we go. I feel like we need like a drum roll or something.
How about action?
Where's the slate? Slate, please. Action.
To start us off here, the very first superstar to be announced, the Eater of Worlds, BRAY WYATT. Up next, Dolph Ziggler, the show-off. Dean Ambrose, speaking of crazy, the Lunatic Fringe.
I don't know anybody in the entire WWE universe who wants to play as Dean Ambrose.
The leader of Sanity also making his debut, Eric Young. And making his return to WWE 2K after 4 years, he's a WWE champion, Jinder Mahal.
The Celtic Warrior, Sheamus.
Making her debut from NXT, Nikki Cross. Hailing from Australia, it's Emma. Britain's own Paige. Everybody loves some BRIE mode, BRIE Bella. And her twin sister, Nikki Bella.
Diamond Dallas Page, bang!
The Phenom, The Undertaker. WWE Hall of Famer, Andre the Giant.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is the first edition of the WWE 2K18 roster reveal, brought to you, of course, by WWE 2K and at IGN.
Still on the way, we've got the ridiculous new character you have to play as in Injustice 2, the classic Sega franchises that need to come back from the dead, and an exclusive preview of Hunt Showdown. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the IGN Show. Last week, Sega released Sonic Mania, which is a love letter to the classic 2D 16-bit Sonic the Hedgehog games that defined a generation.
And that got us thinking, if they can make old Sonic new again, what other classic Sega games need a revival? Well, here are some of the franchises that we think need to make a comeback, like right now. Given its original home on the Dreamcast, Skies of Arcadia is sadly one of the best forgotten JRPGs of the past few decades. This sprawling swashbuckler carved out a unique place in the genre by delivering a killer battle system, awesome ship-to-ship combat, and the ability to build and fortify a base by recruiting characters from across the world. Altered Beast ends up as the butt of a lot of jokes, but at its core, it's a game about a man who becomes increasingly more muscular until he turns into a superpowered animal. A modern incarnation in the style of God of War, but with lycanthropes, would be amazing. Panzer Dragoon is another Sega Saturn-birthed franchise that Sega needs to bring back. The premise is simple. All the gameplay actions occur while riding a dragon. That's all anyone needs to know. With the renewed mainstream interest in Japanese role-playing games kindled appropriately enough by Fire Emblem, the timing is perfect for a new Phantasy Star game. Perhaps even Phantasy Star 5? Pretty please? Sega Bass Fishing is probably the most fun fishing game of all time, made even better if you had one of those fishing rod controllers for Dreamcast. Having first showed up in arcades, it's not a fishing simulation at all. Instead, it's fast-paced and exciting. This franchise could come back and make use of the Nintendo Switch HD Rumble and motion controls. How fun would it be to have a fishing derby with your friends huddled around their Switch consoles? It's high time arcade beat-em-ups made a big comeback, and what better franchise to usher in a new era of flashing go arrows than Streets of Rage. We haven't had a new game since Streets of Rage 3 way the heck back in 1994. It's another franchise that would be amazing with modern graphics and gaming conventions. Space Harrier was one of those games that put Sega in the minds of gamers. Walking into an arcade, sitting down and playing at a Space Harrier cabinet gave an incredible sense of motion. Now we have virtual reality headsets in our homes, and a modern Space Harrier would be absolutely amazing. Imagine blasting weird dragons and statue heads in the virtual space. It'd be awesome. Jet Set Radio's frenetic take on Neo Tokyo, Japanese pop punk, and generally thumbing up your nose at law enforcement might have been a bit ahead of its time when it debuted in 2000 on the Dreamcast. But cut to nearly 2 decades later, and its themes, art direction, and impeccable sense of style absolutely have a place in 2017.
Tetris is a game that everyone has to try at least once. It's a genuine classic loved the world over. But once you've gotten the hang of it, you've also got to try our spin on the game and take the IGN Blindfold Challenge.
He's so good at Tetris that he needs limitations.
That's right.
And then I'm going to tell him how to actually place the pieces.
I'm really good at Tetris.
Are you?
I'm really
like
good
your
at
confidence.
Tetris.
Okay, get ready?
Yep.
You're gonna go left.
Okay.
Now, There, okay, nice.
3, 2, 1, go! Yeah, buddy, it's in.
Go to the right, right, all the way down. Oh my God, we're so close to getting an actual Tetris. Go to the left twice.
This is working, bring it down.
No, you have to leave the right side open for the long slot. You really want to create an area
Okay, then bring it left. Left. One more. Oh my, oh.
Left. Oh, one more to the right. Down. That's a Tetris move.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a Tetris.
Oh, who
okay.
else did Tetris? Nobody.
One row.
It's only one row?
Yeah.
Then save it for later.
Save it where?
Left, and then down. Look at that. Look at that. That's a level up. We leveled up.
I felt that. I felt the level up.
Go all the way to the right.
Tingly.
All the way right. Oh, gosh.
Why do we keep going to sides?
Because...
What does the middle look like?
Bad.
Left, right. Oh, I blew it. Okay, we can recover from this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't need you. I'm going to use the fork.
We're gonna...
All right, so this one goes here.
Yes, please. Oh, yep.
All right, if I put this one right
Force,
here.
everybody.
Right. Left.
Is it moving when I use the arrows?
Yeah.
Oh, really? We should have been doing this the whole time.
Yeah, actually, you're doing great right now.
Oh, that's it.
What?
Oh. God, we got 43 lines. Look what we achieved.
Wow. Oh, man. Round of applause for us. We got technical credits.
Did you get me killed and then not tell me?
I think it was...
How do you mess up Tetris?
It's
easy. There's like 5 pieces with 4 squares attached to them.
Clearly, you were
easy game.
blindfolded.
You
I was trying to do my best.
Why? I'm never going on a road trip with you ever.
Hey everyone, remember we have new episodes every night at 9, so set your DVR to record them so you don't miss anything like what we got coming up.
The cast from the new movie adaptation of Stephen King's It get a real scare when we try out VR with them.
Plus, we'll go behind the scenes with Crytek for a look at the development of their new game, Hunt Showdown.
But first, we gotta talk about some Injustice 2 weirdness.
Bizarro was just released, a premiere skin for Superman, and no matter who he fights, he's always got something really strange to say.
It's pretty bizarre.
Planet not need you, Superman.
I protect Earth's people.
That am job for Bizarro. Bizarro help Bug. Pull off legs.
Here I wanted us to be friends.
Bizarro be Bug's new worst friend. Your challenge is amusing. Big Ape like Bizarro. People say Joker and Bizarro are mad.
Not mad, differently sane.
Bizarro love pointy feather sticks.
Excuse me?
You am doctor.
Not like you're thinking.
Ah, you am victim. Bizarro think cat ugly for human.
Should I be creeped out or flattered?
Me make cat more ugly. Bizarro think him ugliest hero.
All men do.
Superman say you hate puppies. I hate all creatures, great and small. Bizarro not let you hurt Crypto.
If you enjoyed that, check out some of our other videos on IGN.com and our YouTube channel. For more news, tips, and videos on your favorite games and entertainment, keep it right here on IGN.
Welcome back to the IGN Show. Hunt Showdown, the new game from Crytek, has incredible graphics and intense combat. You'd expect nothing less from the team behind Crysis. The developers are trying to deliver a new kind of multiplayer experience, and they explain how in this exclusive behind-the-scenes look.
Hunt is not necessarily a game that relies on jump scares. It is not a linear horror experience. You have to think about it more as a game where you and your friends rely on your senses. Did I hear anything? Did I see any movement?
A large important part of the game is the fear of loss.
Someone might be watching me right now. If I take this one wrong step, I'm gonna lose everything.
You're trying to look for something, you don't know what's around you, and if you step on a twig, something's gonna happen.
You can decide on the fly how you want to play the mission. Do you go in for a particular target? Do you want to kill all targets? Are you there only to hunt the players?
For example, it's a valid strategy to let one team do the work, and you can stalk them along and wait until they get the reward from the mission, try to take it off them.
The bosses have left traces in the maps, and that means that also people are looking for the same tracks, and they're going after the same stuff, and you're gonna encounter other players there.
You're way too visible then. Get some cover.
You're trying to follow the track of the boss you're hunting down, and all of a sudden you're hearing that thing that sticks out that you know is not AI.
sees birds rising up somewhere. Ah, maybe player triggered them. You hear some distant gunshots. See some flashes in the woods.
And that is the moment where you go like, okay, buddy, as a player, I heard somebody walk too close to some dog kennel. There's somebody around me and I don't know where it is.
So the resupply center is over here.
Your voice is casted out in a proximity around you. So if you're too far away from your partner, suddenly they can't hear you. If you're too close to an enemy, suddenly they can.
And the most scary moments of this game is when I'm in some dark bush, bush somewhere, and I'm hiding around, and I'm just hearing people moving, talking. And I don't want to move. If I make the wrong call, I'm dead immediately. So you're actually at the boss. It's the boss fight. All right, then. The spider's gonna be in here. I saw him. Then you have the kill and the banishing phase. The banishing phase is a defensive mission, and it takes a little bit of time to send the boss back. And the boss will leave a token, which you will take up. Quick, the other guys are still behind us.
You take off my headphones after a play session, and I'm just, you know, I'm looking around and I'm catching my breath.
This game was all about gameplay. It was gameplay first from day one on, and we played very ugly looking maps that were just gray boxes most of the time until it was fun.
There couldn't be more agreement upon making a fun game.
Finn Wolfhard, who you know as Mike from Stranger Things, is used to being scared. First, he had to fight the Upside Down, and then it was the clown Pennywise. But now, Finn and the cast of IT have a new threat to contend with: virtual reality. Here's what happened when they strapped on headsets with our own Max Scoville.
I'm actually in the back of a limo with Andy, the director of IT, and the Losers Club, the cast of IT.
What's up, guys?
You guys are taking on one of the scariest clowns in movie history, or in media history. Now we're gonna go check out, I think, like a VR experience. Have you guys done VR before at all?
I've never tried it before. I've seen it, but I never actually got to play on the virtual reality.
What if I turn around?
Yo, he's behind you. He's behind us with the balloon.
Whoa, I saw someone. I'm floating.
Okay, I don't see him. Oh, God. Whoa. Why does that always scare me? Where's he at?
Me and Chosen are at the same part.
Yeah, I'm at the same.
If you look differently at every single one of them, it's different every time.
One more time. No, stop it.
So this is it. This is the Losers Club. You guys are great. I'm so excited to see you guys in IT.
After the break, we'll review Black the Fall, a 2D side-scroller that's shrouded in mystery and plays a whole lot like one of last year's best games. The IGN Show will be right back. Welcome back to the IGN Show. Inside was one of our favorite games of 2016, and there's nothing really quite like it. Until now. Black the Fall tries to deliver a similar experience, so much so that you might be wondering if it's an homage to Playdead's masterpiece or a straight-up copy. IGN executive editor Ryan McCaffrey sets the record straight in this review.
Like Inside, and I mean exactly like Inside, Black the Fall is a monochromatic side-scrolling puzzle platformer where your nameless protagonist is dropped into a massive, gloomy industrial complex full of gruesomely lethal traps with no context or explanation whatsoever. Black does, at least, add a couple new wrinkles to its puzzles. Early on, you'll acquire a laser pointer used to take control of some enemies or cause distractions. Soon after that, you'll get a robot dog sidekick who you'll need to solve some of Black's more difficult puzzles and is the Fall's most interesting gameplay hook. Those puzzles run the gamut from dead simple to multi-layered challenges. It's a good mix. The times I did get stuck, the solution usually ended up being some subtle environmental interaction that I'd just mistaken for part of the background rather than a failure of puzzle-solving logic on my part. Also, rough animations and mediocre graphics stand out more than normal because you can't help but compare it to Inside's near-perfect polish. Again, Black makes it all but impossible not to make that comparison. Though Black deserves credit for adding new puzzle mechanics along the way, it could have easily seen its 6 to 8 hour runtime chopped in half and still gotten its message across. That entire time I found myself wondering if, like Inside, Black would have anything to say. When I finally discovered its message at the end of the campaign, it did inspire me to look up the real-life issue it was drawing attention to and learn more about it. Sure, it could have done so with a bit more subtlety, but at least Black does have a point to make. It's just a shame that it wrapped that in a game that's so shamelessly and distractingly derivative.
On the next episode of the IGN Show, we'll reveal all the secrets of Rocket League, but don't let that make you think it's going to give you the upper hand.
Plus, we'll review the new multiplayer shooter from creator of Gears of War and Unreal Tournament. It's Cliff Bleszinski's Lawbreakers.
And Telltale is back with a brand new season of Batman. We'll check out the first chapter of The Enemy Within. This time, you'll be squaring off against the Riddler.
We're done here, so it's time to go play some games instead of talk about them.
Keep it locked to IGN, and remember, follow us on Snapchat.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. The Batman.
Yeah, Batman's great.
I think Arkham Asylum is still my favorite of any Batman game.
Oh yeah. Well, hands down.